Aries, how you doing? Welcome to your weekly reading here on the Astroflower. It is going from the 20th through to the 26th of May. We're moving into Gemini season. And obviously we're going to be in Gemini season for the next 4 weeks. So I have done a reading on how the Gemini Astroflower affects your particular sign, and it will be linked at the end of this reading here. Very interesting thing, all about the elements and the qualities and how they combine and go together, really. So yes, we've just pulled out some cards. Let's bring up your flower, just as let's bring up the Astroflower here so we can see where we're going. For you this week, overall energies here: karmic message on your relationship side, karmic message on your financial side, influence on the universe, influence on past self, future self, and general outcome. Okay, hope you have a lovely reading. Let's just get in here and see what's going on for you on the overall energies here. Recuperation. We've seen this in quite a lot of fire signs here, and it seems like a recuperation that it's after the last 2 or 3 weeks, which may have seen a little bit of like pulling you a bit from pillar to post. You're getting back to sort of something that resembles something a lot more sort of calm and peaceful. Yeah, it's allowing that time to assess the situation and see the undercurrents of life and see what sits where, how things work, bringing things to the surface. This is the overall energy, don't forget. And it's allowing you to sort of like absorb and observe everything in detail around you without having to run around. That's the feeling I'm getting, where you can see things really quite clearly. It's going to help you out loads. What's this on your karmic message on your relationship side? It's all to do with communication, I think, more than anything else. And it's like it seems like your karmic messages is communication. It's like you're rather than running around, why don't you be there and allow things to come to you? If you know what I mean. That's the sort of scenario. The star. Yeah, going after, you've got to be focused on what you want in life, what sort of reality you want to lead in according to your emotions and your relationships around you. But in order to do that, you have to be in one space for then people to know how that they can connect with you and interact with you in a particular way. Living your dream will help you enormously to help others. And this is possibly what's coming to the surface. It's an understanding that's coming to the surface that you haven't really confronted before, and it's going to allow you to be a lot more serene and assured about where you're going. From the universe, how's the universe influencing this karmic message? You've got to go out there and get it, though. And I would head towards your dreams. Yeah, this is where we come back to this whole idea. We saw it a lot in other signs as well. Quality rather than quantity. And this is what I mean about rather than you running around pillar to post. It's now allowing things to come into your life so you can choose what comes into your life. And if it's not in accordance with what you want out of life, I don't think you should get involved. Your past self to your future self. What's the connection to the past? There's been a lot of overthinking, I think. Well, you got the Page of Wands. You've learned a lot about your passions. Maybe it's a time during Gemini season as well, which allows a lot of fire and air to come into your sign, and it makes it really, really passionate. You've learned a lot about your passions in the past, and I think this is where you can really start implementing what you've learned in the past about selecting what you allow into your life more than anything else. Okay, so what's on your future self? It's engagement with that pathway, that star. Dreaming about your future. There's a lot of learning going on at the moment about how you position yourself, how you really engage with the world around you. And this living that dream there is a little bit like the page of cups here. You know, it could be either you're dreaming about someone or someone's dreaming about you. It could be like a love connection here. But I think there's also a factor of what, the ideal, the dream of life that you wish to live, I think is within you, and your understanding is now starting to become possible from the impossible. And I think this is where you can, it's good to dream and it's good to be realistic. And the thing is, if you're going to be anything, Aries, you're going to be realistic about what is possible. And I think that's where you've got to allow that dream to grow within you. Now, what's going on your general outcome? It's feeding things into your life. It's trying to make put things in its place. Yeah, playing smart, organizing things. I think more than anything else within your relationship side, it's all about that sort of like being quality rather than quantity. That's what it's about this week, and it seems to be that you're getting a real heads up and being very, very smart about where you're going in regards to your time, effort, emotions that you put into life. On your financial side, on your karmic mission here, I would say you're making waves, but it's not that. It's almost as if like you're cutting through the waves. So you're not getting affected by the outside world. That's what you should be doing here. Yeah, do not allow distractions within your life here. Do not allow yourself to be pulled off on pathways that are illusional, that doesn't really take you anywhere. Um, you've got to be, it's attention to detail, but seriously, just sort of like keeping your, like a bow of a boat that just goes through the waves rather than like being too hit by the waves, or a sword that goes through the waves. That's the sort of attitude I think you need to take to sort of cope with the situation that is going on around you within your karmic path. Because you may be tempted off your pathway here. That's the universe. Here we go. Cool. Bringing it all back in. Bringing it all back in. Yeah. The Hermit. Wow. That is where the star is in the Hermit. He's gone up the top of the mountain, he's picked a star out, he's putting his lantern and he's making it guide his way. Very much what is on your karmic path and your relationship side. But here, you're using both sides of the Hermit. Now, the Hermit, obviously, as he goes up the mountain, he goes around the dark side of the mountain, he sees his shadow self, our dark side. And I think this is where you can, the universe is sort of saying, don't forget about your dark side, because it's going to help to stop you being deviated off your pathway. What's from your past to your future, or what's going on in your past here? Influence from the past. Investment in something. There's something about investment in something, and it seems to be investment in something that's quite some time ago, that hasn't given you the results. It may have just given you the stress and strains, but it's something about an investment in the past. It's like an old car that you've invested in, a beautiful old car, and it's starting to rust away. That's the sort of thing I'm getting off of it. And that's what's causing a bit of stress, or it's been causing a bit of stress or strain in your life. Let's just see what the future's saying here. cut your losses and concentrate on the things that work for you. Yeah, put up those healthy boundaries, convert that stress and strain into something very, very productive. Give you a real focal point about where you're going here, and allowing your hermit to shine his light and his wisdom as you go forward. And that's what's going to take you on to much, much happier and rewarding sort of things. But there seems to be that thing in the past that needs to be dealt with, that's taken you off. That was an illusionary path in a way. Okay, what's in the general outcome for this? You're pushing outwards. You're changing your path. You are taking a path in particular. Yeah, the Ace of Wands, out with the old and in with the new. And I think that's where the conversion comes in. This person here has got that hold of that one staff as well, and he's got the Eight of Wands behind that person there, which is all to do with communication. And this is where you're going to convert this and allow that star to come out and actually be out with the old and in with the new. And I think that's what getting rid of that sort of Nine of Swords, of converting that Nine of Swords into something that's a little bit more productive. The moon just wants to jump out. There's a lot of surprise things that come to the surface for you and the overall energies here. It's sort of saying, it really is sort of allowing you to see things for what they are, and so therefore you can get quality rather than quantity within your relationships and in your financial side. Stop yourself being pulled from pillar to post. With the star, you get the sun. This is where you're working towards, and this is what you need to get. This is what's within your karmic path: happiness, an ultimate dream about where you should be going. And that's all to do with that quality rather than quantity, with the Four of Pentacles. That is, the universe is influencing you here. And it's almost making that choice for you. Maybe the universe is cutting things out. The Eight of Wands, it's been buzzing around my head for ages, the Eight of Wands. This is apparently really important for you. And I think it bodes very well for your financial side as much as your relationship side. This Eight of Wands here is just where the universe is trying to curtail certain things, so you only have quality rather than quantity in your life. And that quality then allows you that space to breathe and invest in relationships in a really fulfilling and full way. With the Page of Wands, you get the Queen of Pentacles. Yes, you know your future. You know how to use your passions. And this month here, these passions as fire is going to come to the surface quite a lot within you, I think. She's sat at the tree of knowledge. She knows when that tree of knowledge is going to bear fruit. Because you should have learnt of how to put your passions in life. And sometimes it's a case of controlling your passions. Don't let them run away, run wild, as it were. What's with the Page of Cups? Learning about going after the impossible. And you wouldn't be Aries if you wouldn't plan it. And I think planning is really important for you. Even if you're planning for something that you're dreaming about. And I think this is where you should be planning for it. And there's a lot of things coming to the surface, which is helping to fill in the blanks of a great dream or great aspect or way of living that is within you. And it's that whole Seven of Swords of playing smarter rather than harder. This is where you're starting, when they're bringing up the overall energies here, bringing up the unforeseen, you're starting to see what works and what doesn't work for you in the world that is around you. And that's going to make you incredibly smarter. It's going to be revealing as well. It's like it's revealing a little bit of a secret, like a life hack in a way, within your relationships or within your emotions. And that sits absolutely fine for you. You really like it, really like that idea. With the Devil, yeah, as I said, don't get distracted. Stay on your pathway, stay on your mission. It is bringing a lot of things to the surface that is going to be trying you a little bit. Something from the past, obviously, to do with investments. I wouldn't get involved in it. That is where your pathway, out with the old and in with the new, and really start going after it on a real mission. Very, speedy mission. Cut out the dead wood very quickly if I was you. With the Hermit card, you get the King of Pentacles. Sorry. Queen of Pentacles over there. Now you've got the King over this side. He sits in his power through knowledge and understanding. And I think that's also the same thing for the Hermit card there. And it's I think the universe is trying to sort of say, well, we're not going to bring anything in, because Aries, you need to realize you have that knowledge and understanding and that wisdom within you already. And that's what it's not really giving you a lot of energy, because if it did, it may make that Ace of Wands much more explosive than it should be, and I think this is where the universe is really trying to encourage you to find it within you. Yeah, you're going to be finding healing from a past situation, that, as I said, that old rusty car that you invested in and is now turning south. It's going sour as an investment. And that's part and parcel of the learning process and not being distracted from where you should be going and what you should be doing. With the Nine of Wands, you get the Nine of Wands. Time to explore your pathway, this mission that you're going on, in accordance to that. And with this exploration is a lot of curiosity that goes in here, and it's like exploring, pushing the boundaries without risking, without putting all your eggs in one basket, basically. And this comes from the wisdom that is within you more than anything else. With the Ace of Wands, you get the King of Cups. Absolutely beautiful here. This is what I was talking about, when the universe here is the universe here is trying to make it realize that the wisdom is within you. And this Ace of Wands scenario is within you. And it comes from your depths of being calm and serene about it. Although you might have a lot of fiery energy that's coming into your life, it's ultimately going to expose or take you into a very new, passionate path. But don't get distracted. There you go, Aries. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you get the best out of these readings. Thank you very much for all the appreciation you show for this channel through YouTube. I will also doing stuff on Cymatic TV. I'll see you over there. I'll see you here, whichever way it is. I'm sure I'll see you again. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.